It's Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti.
All right, we will get in the mix here momentarily. We may as well call Boomer the birthday boy. He had himself a little winning week. It's been tough in the streets, but he had a nice week last week. We'll see if we can carry the momentum. Let's get to the picks.
Picks of the week.
All right, strap in. You got a lot of big numbers here, people. Jags laying 7, hosting the Titans.
All right, Mike, I always tell you that I hate playing a team that got blown out the week before, and you talk about a wake-up call for the Jags last week as they got slammed by the 49ers. I think they bounce back this week. I'm going to lay the 7. I'm going to take the Jags over the Titans. I did not like the way Will Levis played last week, and he got beat up pretty good.
Yeah.
So I think he struggles here against the Jags, and the Jags find their game against the Titans.
Yeah, it's a pride game. I mean, that was embarrassing for the Jags. Obviously, Doug Peterson, pro's pro. And the Titans, look, eventually are what you are. You're a bad football team. And Levis, tape is out. He'll have 2 or 3 big throws, but he's who he is, I think. I'm going to take the Jags here. Chargers laying 3. They travel to Green Bay.
Wow, I know you have this as one of your vetoes. I'm not going to veto this game. I'm going to take the Chargers. I don't know why I'm taking. I know why I'm taking the Chargers.
Oh, my.
I am taking the Chargers, and I do believe that you talk about teams that are in desperate win-now situations. The Chargers are one of those teams. Brandon Staley's got to be looking over his shoulder. I mean, I would imagine going to work this past week, losing to the Lions the way that they did. The Spanos family and the Charger fans, however many there are of them, are probably sick and tired of losing games like that. But I think the Chargers are a team that needs this very, very badly. I know it's cold weather. I know it's Green Bay. But I'm going to go with Justin Herbert. I think he's going to pull this one out in Green Bay.
Yeah, I really can't argue the football reasons. The number terrifies me, the cold weather, the travel. If I had to play it, it would be Green Bay. But here's my problem. Their defense doesn't stop anybody. I don't care how many first-round picks you've used on it. That defense stinks. It's a veto for me. Commanders laying 9.5 as they host what used to be the New York Football Giants.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into this game too much. I'm just going to take the Commanders. I'm going to lay the points. The Giants are starting Tommy DeVito. Enough said.
Listen, Tommy DeVito, players yelling at each other, people's pets' heads are falling off. It's a disaster in New York. Commanders, lay the points. By the way, here's your stat, Boomer. You ready?
Yes.
If you had Sam Howell leading the league in passing on your bingo board, you win.
Well, I'll tell you what.
That's unbelievable.
I actually, part of me loves the way that Eric Bieniemy is treating this kid. Like he's throwing him right out there in the fire and saying, "Go, kid, just keep learning, keep learning, keep learning." I think this is for next year.
You get 2 offensive linemen, you've got your franchise quarterback.
I feel like that. I feel like they think the same way. Yes.
Yeah. Miami laying 12.5, hosting the Raiders.
Okay, I'm taking this team here. I'm going to take the Miami Dolphins, and this is going to be the 4th straight favorite that I'm taking. Things are going to change after this, I promise. And the reason I'm taking the Miami Dolphins, they are completely different at home.
Yes.
They are a machine at home. I expect Devin Achane to be back in the lineup for Miami. The Raiders, nice little story, 2-game win streak against the horrific New York football teams. This is a completely different set of circumstances for Antonio Pierce and Aiden O'Connell. I don't see the Raiders being able to put up enough points to stay within the number, let alone win the game.
And nice to see no Waddle or Hill on the injury report. You might get the full Dolphins. They're going to play a team under 500. I'm with Boomer here. I think you got to lay the points. Next game, Texans laying 4.5, hosting the Cards.
Texans, one of the really good stories, as we talked about earlier in the show with D'Amico Ryans and C.J. Stroud. The Cardinals, last week, you saw what a healthy Kyler Murray could do. He actually shocked me. I don't know how you felt about this. I did pick the Cardinals to win last week.
Yeah.
But I never expected to see him running around that fast and that quick and look good.
Totally agree. I never expected it.
And sitting next to J.J. Watt, he told me that there's a feeling that Kyler has turned the corner in terms of the mental preparation of the game and that he's trying to prove to the Cardinals that he needs to be their quarterback of the future and he does not want them to have the number 1 overall pick. I think there's something to be said about that. Now, they may not beat the Texans here, but I think they cover. I'm going to take the Cardinals on the road at Houston.
I think you're getting a good number here. Look, the Texans are a nice story, but again, are we really betting rookie quarterbacks laying 4.5? Kyler's back. If he's motivated, if the J.J. Watt tip is real, all right. Yeah, boom, I'm with it. I like the Cards this week. Lions laying 9, hosting the Bears. Justin Fields is back.
Justin Fields is back, and guess who's got something to prove to the Bears and their fans and their ownership? That is one Justin Fields. I'd like the Lions to win the game. I think that Chicago, with the addition of Montez Sweat, is a little bit better on defense. I think the Lions came off of a huge offensive output game against the LA Chargers. I like, because it's a division game and because the Bears are getting back their quarterback who's going to want to make a statement here, I'm going to take the Bears and the points.
Yeah, and I like the 10-day break. A little bit more rest, less travel. Lions flying high emotionally. I'm not saying they lose, but it's hard. People, what you got to realize, too, it is so hard to beat someone by double digits. You got to really dominate somebody to win like that. So I'm going to take the Bears here. Browns, this is the DTR game. Browns are now a pick'em against the Steelers. With Watson, they were 1-point favorites. Without, it's a pick'em.
I'm taking the Steelers now without question. I think this is going to be the lowest scoring game of the weekend. I think this game is going to be something like 17-13, 14-10. There's not a lot of big plays that are going to come out of this game. Both defenses are going to dominate the opposing offense. But one good thing about Kenny Pickett, he has not been turning the ball over. And when they get into the fourth quarter, all of a sudden, he is making big plays when the game is on the line. So that tells you something about that young man. I'm going to take the Steelers at the Browns simply because Deshaun Watson is not playing.
I have a hard time letting go of this. Is the Steelers have been outgained in every game. It's not sustainable. What's the single best unit on the field for me? It's going to be the Browns D. I'm not invoking 85 Bears or 2,000 Ravens here, but in the modern day of football, this defense is about as good as it gets. I'm going to take the Browns, and like I said, I do like DTR. I liked him as a draft prospect. Cowboys laying 10.5, traveling to Carolina. No, you know what to do. Come on, man. Your man is coming back. Yeah. He has taken the play sheet back.
Yes.
Come on.
I was actually happy to see Frank actually do take the play sheet back because I think sometimes as a head coach, and this is not who Frank is personality-wise, I mean, you got to put your foot down and say, look, man, the reason I'm here is because I'm an offensive coach and I need to get the most out of this quarterback. And if you want me to do that, and I'm not saying these are his words, these are my words if I were in his position, I want to take the play calling back. I want to make sure I give this kid a really good chance to be successful. I'm going to take the 10.5 points. I'm going to take the Carolina Panthers. I could see this game being like a 30, like a 30-14 game, something like that. And oh, by the way, touchdown late by the Panthers and a late cover.
Here's the other thing. The Cowboys splits, home and away, are completely different planets. The Cowboys at home, they're a machine. The Cowboys on the road, it's a weird thing. And look, I'm with Boomer on this. You got a team, long rest. I think you have one of the better offensive minds out there. I have no idea what that OC, what was it, Thomas Brown or whatever the hell his name was? Whatever. He don't work here no more. It was so bad. You got Bryce Young, you drop him back 50 times. What the hell did you pay Miles Sanders for? You got to get – don't get me started. I'm taking the 10.5. Just give me the
spending
points.
way too much time on this game, by the way.
Listen, hey, all games matter here.
Yes.
That's all. All right, Niners laying 12 against the Bucks.
Man, you saw the Niners in full bloom last week against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I think they keep it rolling here, man. When everybody is healthy and everybody's rocking and rolling and Kyle Shanahan wants to make a statement and he wants Christian McCaffrey to go for the record, even though he risked injury to do so.
I didn't like that at all.
Nobody does. Nobody likes it.
That was ridiculous.
But you know what? It just shows you just the arrogance of Kyle Shanahan, which I love from a head coach. I want my head coach to be arrogant. I want my head coach that give his players an opportunity to do something because the players love that kind of thing. They're not thinking like we're thinking.
I know.
So I'm taking the 49ers here. They are still my pick for the Super Bowl. They are healthy and they are rolling, and Brock Purdy's got it back going again.
I just hate the number. It's so many points. And Boomer, you're right, and I know they're going to win the game. Shanahan as a big favorite is awful historically. Guys, you can devalue the trend. Respect. I'm not mad about it. It's a hunch. Is this a game I'd bet in real life? Probably not. But I would go Bucks here and just take the 12. That's a ton of points. After, Boomer, you nailed it. To me, that was the best game the Niners played all year. Maybe that and the Dallas game. They were unbelievable. I'll take the Bucks. I'll take the points. What do you do? What do you want to do here? Seattle, laying 1. They're traveling to L.A., and John Matthew Stafford is back.
He is back, and I'll tell you that's something to be worried about if you are Seattle. But I'm going to tell you, they have to win this game, and these games are usually tight between these teams. I think the fact that they are right there with the 49ers, they're right on their heels. You can't lose a game like this, and I don't think Pete Carroll is going to let his team lose a game like this. And I like the way that Geno bounced back last week and led his team to victory. So I'm going to take Seattle. I'll lay the 1 point for the Rams.
This is it's a game I'm going to veto, but I want to offer you a pick on it because it's only fair. I have been saying for weeks I don't trust Seattle. I don't. And I understand they have gutted a few of these games out, but I never walk away impressed. I never walk away feeling like the pieces all make sense. The offense should be far more explosive. It's not. The defense should have more to say, and they don't. And I mean, look, Sam Howell, talked about him a few minutes ago. You can't have that kid going up and down the field on you. The number scares the hell out of me. So I'm going to go Rams, but I think I want to veto this game, but maybe you can guide me Bills-Jets before I do, but I'll go Rams. Bills laying 7 against the Jets. Utter desperation both ways. What do you got?
Man.
A deep sigh is what Boomer offers.
This is the one that I'm vetoing, but if I were going to take a team here, I would end up taking the Jets. And the reason I would take the Jets is because I've seen the Bills at home now basically almost lose to the Giants. And the Jets are a better team than the Giants. The Jets' defense is much better than the Giants' defense. And the way that Josh Allen has been turning the ball over, that would worry me if I were a Bills fan. But here's the thing. New quarterback coach now is the new coordinator, a new voice in the ear of Josh Allen. I do understand that he knows that he can't continue to play the way that he's playing. But I'm going to veto this one, but I would take the Jets just because I think it's going to be a really close game because the Jets seem to play well against Josh Allen.
All right, so you've guided me appropriately. I'll veto the Rams. I will play the Jets. Look, if you want to turn the ball over less, you need to run the ball more. Well, the Jets aren't going to allow that. And defensively, I don't really have any questions about the Jets. Offensively, we know what they are. But if the Bills are going to turn the ball over, and guys, it's what they do. It's not a 1-week thing or a 2-week thing. The Bills are turnovers. I got to take the 7 here in a divisional game, and if the Jets have anything left, hey, players-only meeting, you love those, then you got to at least play close here. You can't go and get rolled. I'll take the Jets. God, I'm terrified of that game. All right. Broncos laying 2.5 against the Vikings. These are two of the better turnaround stories in all of football. What do you got?
They're turnaround stories because both defenses have been vastly improved from where they were. For the Broncos, it's from where they were earlier this season. For the Vikings, from where they were last year. So they've been good defensively all year long. I think they're going to continue to be good defensively. I'm going to ride the Joshua Dobbs train, and I'm going to stay with the Vikings here on the road at Denver. Tough spot for sure. Denver fans now are back into it, and this should be a very, very interesting game, a very competitive game, but I will take the underdog Vikings here.
I say this partially in disbelief and part of it partially in a begrudging manner. Russell Wilson's back? Question mark? Like, I mean, he's actually, look, that throw to Cortland Sutton last week looked vintage. He's playing well. And whatever they did after the bye week with the defense, they've gone from being the worst thing I've ever seen on the planet defensively to above average. And as fun a story as Josh Dobbs is, I can't. I can't. It's got to stop. It's ridiculous. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I'm going to go with the Broncos. I'm going to lay the 2.5. We are going to have some fun here next by putting the teams into tiers. We got to talk Super Bowl. We got to talk chances. I want to see where Boomer ranks teams. So we're going to get to that, and it is going to be a robust, rapid-fire, fast-paced final word for everybody. We'll get to it next. Boomer, tell them about Casamigos.
All right, Mike, you know what goes good with football? It's Casamigos tequila. That's what goes good with football. Casamigos brought to you by those who drink it, like me and Mike. Make sure you have plenty on hand for the Week 11 games here this NFL season, whether it be Añejo, Blanco, Reposado, Cristalino, or Mezcal. It's Casamigos tequila. And our friends at Casamigos remind all of you out there to please, please, please celebrate responsibly.